Your biggest enemy is not the world, not your past, not other people. It is the weaker version of yourself you keep becoming every day. Every excuse, every distraction, every moment of laziness is a battle between who you are and who you could become. It's you versus you. Chapter 1. Stop betraying your potential. You're not stuck because life is unfair. You are stuck because your daily behavior is betraying your future. That is the truth. Not your background, not your circumstances, not other people. You, your excuses, your procrastination. You regain control because now the solution becomes your responsibility too. Weak people blame circumstances. Strong people change behavior. That is the difference. Your future changes when your daily behavior changes. Never forget that. Your future changes when your daily behavior changes. Not when you feel inspired. Not when life becomes easier. When your actions change. Every small action matters. Waking up on time matters. Keeping promises to yourself matters. Finishing difficult tasks matters. Because every disciplined action sends a message to your mind. I am becoming stronger. That internal message changes confidence. Real confidence is not built through motivational quotes. It is built through evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. And right now, many people do not trust themselves because they constantly break their own word. That destroys self-respect. If you want to change your life, start becoming somebody who keeps promises to themselves. Small promises, daily promises, consistent promises. Because consistency rebuilds identity, and identity changes everything. Most people are waiting for external change while refusing internal change. They want success without discipline, results without sacrifice, confidence without effort. That mindset keeps them trapped. Life rewards responsibility. The moment you stop acting like a victim, your power returns. Victims wait. Victims complain. Victims blame everyone else. But disciplined people move differently. They ask, what can I control today? That question changes everything. Because control creates momentum. And momentum creates transformation. You do not need perfect conditions. You need stronger standards. Stop negotiating with weakness. When it is time to work, work. When it is time to focus, focus. When it is time to improve, improve. No excuses. Your future is watching your daily habits. Every distraction matters. Every delay matters. Every excuse matters. Because repeated weakness eventually becomes identity. And identity becomes destiny. This is why discipline matters more than emotion. Emotion changes constantly. Discipline remains. Some days you will feel motivated. Other days you will feel tired. Continue anyway. Weak people stop when feelings change. Strong people continue regardless of feelings. That mentality builds unstoppable people. You must become obsessed with action. Not talking, not wishing. Action. Because action creates progress. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates transformation. That is the cycle you must build. And understand this clearly. Nobody is coming to rescue your potential. Nobody will wake up early for you. Nobody will fight your distractions for you. Nobody will build your future for you. That responsibility belongs to you. It has always been you versus you. The disciplined version of you versus the distracted version. The focused version versus the lazy version. The future version versus the comfortable version. That battle happens daily. And every decision casts a vote for who you become. So stop betraying your future through temporary comfort. Stop delaying the work. Stop protecting weakness. Stop making excuses for behavior that is destroying your life. Because your future changes when your daily behavior changes. Remember that sentence. Your future changes when your daily behavior changes. You stopped blaming the world. You started taking responsibility for your life. Now it is time to fight the real battlefield, your own mind. Chapter 2. Silence the weak voice in your mind. The most dangerous enemy in your life is not outside you. It is the weak voice inside your mind. The voice that says, "Do it tomorrow. Take it easy. You are not good enough. You will probably fail anyway." That voice destroys more dreams than failure ever will. And most people obey it without resistance. That is why they stay weak. Listen carefully. Your mind is always talking. Always. The question is, which voice are you feeding? The disciplined voice or the weak voice? Because whichever voice you repeatedly obey becomes your identity. That is why mental discipline matters. If you cannot control your mind will control you. And an uncontrolled mind becomes dangerous. It creates excuses, creates fear, creates hesitation, creates self-doubt. Then suddenly years pass and nothing changes. Not because the person lacked ability, because they kept listening to weakness. You must understand this clearly. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your habits. Your habits shape your identity. And your identity shapes your future. Everything starts in the mind. That is why weak thinking creates weak behavior. The person who constantly says, "I can't do this," will eventually stop trying. The person who constantly focuses on fear will eventually avoid growth. The mind always moves the body. So if your thinking is weak, your life becomes weak. That is why you must learn how to fight your own mind daily. Not sometimes. Daily. Most people think confidence comes first. Wrong. Action comes first. Confidence is built by doing difficult things repeatedly. Every time you act despite fear, you weaken the voice of doubt. Every time you stay disciplined despite discomfort, your mind becomes stronger. That is how mental toughness is built. Not through comfort, through resistance. Your mind must be trained like a muscle. And training requires repetition. This is why your self-talk matters. Stop speaking weakness over your life. Stop saying, "I am lazy. I always fail. I can never stay consistent." Those words become instructions to your brain. Instead, start reinforcing strength. I finish what I start. I stay disciplined. I can handle discomfort. I do not quit. At first, your mind may resist. Continue anyway. Because repetition rewires identity. Most people repeat weakness daily without realizing it. They repeat excuses, repeat negativity, repeat fear. Then they wonder why they feel powerless. Your mind obeys the standards you repeatedly enforce. Never forget that. Your mind obeys the standards you repeatedly enforce. If your standards are low, your actions become weak. If your standards are high, your behavior begins rising to match them. This is why powerful people are strict with themselves. Not because they hate themselves, because they respect their potential. Weak minds seek comfort. Strong minds seek growth. Weak minds avoid pressure. Strong minds use pressure to evolve. Every day you must decide, will I obey comfort or purpose? That battle decides your future. And understand something important. Fear never completely disappears. Even successful people feel fear. The difference is this. Strong people act anyway. Weak people wait for fear to disappear before taking action. That moment never comes. So stop negotiating with fear. Stop asking, "What if I fail?" Start asking, "What happens if I stay the same?" That question creates urgency. Because staying the same is expensive. Every year wasted in hesitation weakens your confidence further. Every excuse repeated daily strengthens the weaker version of you. And eventually, that weak version becomes your identity. Unless you fight back. This is why emotional control matters. You cannot allow temporary emotions to control permanent decisions. Some mornings you will feel motivated. Other mornings you will feel tired. Stay disciplined anyway. Some days you will feel confident. Other days you will feel uncertain. Continue anyway. Because winners are not controlled by mood. They are controlled by standards. And standards create stability. Your emotions change daily. Your standards must remain fixed. That mindset creates unstoppable people. The strongest people are usually the people who master themselves internally, not physically, mentally. They learned how to control thoughts, control reactions, control impulses. That is real power, because once you control your mind, distractions lose power over you. Fear loses power. Excuses lose power. Weakness loses power. Now you become dangerous in the best possible way. Focused, disciplined, intentional. That version of you already exists inside you, but it grows only when you stop feeding weakness. So stop consuming negativity daily. Stop surrounding yourself with people who normalize excuses. Stop entertaining thoughts that destroy confidence. Protect your mind aggressively. Feed it discipline. Feed it growth. Feed it purpose. Because the battle is internal before it becomes external. Everything begins in the mind. And every day, two voices compete inside you. One voice wants comfort. The other wants greatness. One voice wants distraction. The other wants growth. One voice wants excuses. The other wants discipline. You decide which one survives. Because in the end, it has always been you versus you. You learn to take responsibility for your life. You learn to control the weak voice in your mind. Now it is time to build the disciplined version of yourself through relentless consistency and daily action. Chapter 3. Become unrecognizable through discipline. Transformation is not dramatic. It is repetitive. That is the truth most people refuse to accept. They want instant results, instant confidence, instant success. But greatness is built slowly, one disciplined day at a time. Listen carefully. Your future is not created in one big moment. It is created in small daily decisions repeated consistently. That is why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is intentional. And intentional people always outperform emotional people over time. Most people destroy their potential because they depend on feelings to take action. If they feel motivated, they work. If they feel tired, they stop. That inconsistency keeps them average. Because average people live emotionally. Powerful people live strategically. They understand something important. The strongest version of yourself is built through repetition. Not one workout, repeated workouts. Not one focus day, repeated focus days. Not one disciplined decision, repeated disciplined decisions. Again and again and again. That is how identity changes. Your current life is the result of repeated behavior. If your behavior changes consistently, your future changes automatically. That is why discipline is freedom. Read that again mentally. Discipline is freedom. The discipline to wake up early creates freedom. The discipline to focus creates opportunity. The discipline to control impulses creates power. Weak people see discipline as punishment. Strong people see discipline as transformation. Because discipline builds self-respect. Every time you keep your word to yourself, your confidence grows. You say, I will work today. And you do it. That matters. You say, I will stay focused. And you follow through. That matters. Because every disciplined action strengthens identity. Eventually, you stop seeing yourself as weak. Now you become reliable, focused, mentally strong. That transformation changes everything. Most people never experience this because they quit too early. They want visible success immediately. But the beginning of transformation is invisible. For a while, nobody notices your discipline. Nobody notices your growth. Nobody notices your sacrifices. Continue anyway, because real transformation happens internally before it appears externally. Your mindset changes first. Your habits change second. Your life changes last. That sequence matters. Most people try to change their lives without changing themselves. Impossible. You cannot build a disciplined future with weak daily behavior. Eventually, your routines become your identity. That is why routines matter so much. Your morning routine matters. Your environment matters. Your standards matter. Everything is shaping you daily. And the dangerous part is this. Whether intentional or not, you are always becoming someone. Every habit is casting a vote. Every distraction shapes identity. Every disciplined action shapes identity. The question is, who are you becoming? Because one version of you leads toward greatness. The other leads toward regret. One version wakes up early. The other keeps snoozing alarms. One version stays focused. The other gets distracted constantly. One version sacrifices temporary comfort. The other sacrifices long-term potential. Every day, those two versions compete, and your daily decisions decide which version wins. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. Anybody can work hard for one day. Very few can stay disciplined for years. But long-term consistency creates unstoppable momentum. A focused hour daily becomes mastery. A disciplined year becomes transformation. A disciplined lifestyle becomes greatness. That is how powerful people are built, not through talent alone, through structure, standards, repetition. This is why excuses must disappear completely. Excuses interrupt momentum, and interrupted momentum destroys growth. You cannot become mentally strong while constantly negotiating with weakness. Stop bargaining with comfort. When it is time to work, work. When it is time to improve, improve. When it is time to stay disciplined, stay disciplined. No emotion el debate. That mentality creates power because disciplined people trust themselves. And self-trust creates confidence no external validation can replace. Most people search for confidence in approval, in attention, in results. But real confidence comes from knowing I can rely on myself. That feeling changes posture, changes energy, changes standards. Now you stop acting like the old version of yourself. Now you become intentional. That is the goal, not temporary motivation. Identity transformation. You should become unrecognizable mentally, more focused, more disciplined, more emotionally controlled. The old version of you chased comfort. The new version chases growth. The old version made excuses. The new version takes action. The old version quit when things became difficult. The new version continues regardless of difficulty. That is what discipline creates. A completely different human being. And understand this clearly. Nobody accidentally becomes powerful. Power is earned daily, through sacrifice, through repetition, through consistency, one disciplined day at a time. That is why it has always been you versus you, not you versus other people, not you versus the world. The battle has always been internal, the weak version versus the disciplined version. And every day, you must choose who wins. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose growth over comfort. Choose action over excuses. Again and again and again. Because the strongest version of you is built one disciplined day at a time. And if you continue long enough, one day you will look at your old self and barely recognize who you used to be. Every day you wake up, a battle begins. Not against the world, against yourself, against your excuses, against your fear, against your weak habits. One version of you wants comfort. The other wants greatness. One version wants to sleep. The other wants to grow. One version keeps making excuses. The other takes responsibility and moves forward anyway. That battle will decide your future. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to build your discipline for you. Nobody is going to fight your internal battles except you. So stop running from hard work. Stop negotiating with weakness. Stop betraying your potential through distraction and procrastination. Become stronger. Become focused. Become disciplined. And every single day, choose the version of yourself that your future will thank you for. Because in the end, it has always been you versus you. Now go in the fight,